Dad, the waitress's pendant is the same as the one in Mom's photo. The billionaire froze. What if the key to your family's past was hidden in a simple pendant, worn by a stranger who might be the missing link to everything you thought you knew? When billionaire Logan Carter spots that very pendant on a small-town waitress, his world shatters, and a long-buried secret threatens to change his family forever. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel as a sign of support. It was supposed to be a quiet morning. Logan Carter, tech billionaire and founder of one of Silicon Valley's most successful startups, had finally taken a weekend off. Burned out and running on fumes, he packed up his SUV and hit the road with his 9-year-old son, Aiden. Their destination? A quiet stretch of the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, far from investors, media, and the glare of high society. After hours of winding roads, Logan spotted a quaint diner tucked between the trees. Maggie's place. The paint was peeling, and the screen door creaked with every customer, but something about it felt warm and welcoming. "Dad, can we eat here?" Aiden asked, pressing his face to the window. Logan chuckled. "Yeah, bud, let's give it a shot." Inside, the smell of fresh coffee and bacon filled the air. Logan took off his sunglasses and found them a booth near the window. The waitress approached with 2 menus and a soft, southern lilt in her voice. "Morning, y'all. I'm Rachel. I'll be taking care of you." She looked young, maybe in her late 20s, with tired eyes and a gentle smile. But what caught Aiden's attention wasn't her voice or her friendliness. It was the silver pendant that hung from a chain around her neck. A small, heart-shaped locket, slightly tarnished but unmistakable. Aiden stared at it, blinking. "Everything okay?" Rachel asked, offering him a friendly smile. "Yeah," Aiden replied, but then turned to Logan and whispered, "Dad, her necklace. It's the same one from Mom's photo." Logan froze. He looked at his son, confused. "What do you mean?" Aiden dug into his backpack and pulled out a wrinkled photo they kept in his journal. It was the only picture he had of his mother, Logan's late wife, Amanda, taken years ago when she was pregnant with Aiden. Around her neck, clear as day, was the exact same pendant. Logan's breath caught. Coincidence? He tried to brush it off, but his gaze snapped back to Rachel. He studied her more closely now, her features, her eyes. There was something familiar. "I'll get your drinks," Rachel said and turned away, unaware of the sudden shift in energy. Logan leaned back, gripping the edge of the table. His mind was racing. That pendant was custom-made. Amanda had it designed herself. There was no way 2 people just happened to own the same piece. "Do you think she knew Mom?" Aiden whispered. Logan didn't answer. He didn't have one. The warm comfort of the diner faded under a growing cloud of unease. He glanced at the kitchen door swinging behind Rachel, feeling like he'd just stumbled into a mystery he never intended to revisit. And just like that, their quiet mountain getaway was anything but. Logan couldn't take his eyes off Rachel. She moved like someone used to hard work, graceful but worn. The way she spoke to the cook, the smile she offered every customer, even the way she wiped down tables, it all had a rhythm to it. Logan could tell she was a regular part of this small-town diner, but none of that explained why she had Amanda's pendant. Rachel returned with their drinks, orange juice for Aiden, coffee for Logan. She set them down with a cheerful nod. "Y'all ready to order?" Logan cleared his throat. "Yeah, I think we'll both have the pancakes, and maybe a side of bacon." "Got it," she said, jotting it down. "Pancakes and bacon coming right up." She turned again to leave, and Logan stopped her. "Sorry, Rachel, right?" She turned, raising an eyebrow. "Yes, sir?" "That pendant you're wearing, it's beautiful. Where'd you get it?" Rachel instinctively reached up and touched it. Her expression shifted, still polite, but guarded. "It was a gift," she said. "Long time ago." Logan nodded slowly, trying to keep his face neutral. "Looks just like one my late wife used to wear." Her eyes flicked to his, and something about her smile faded. "Is that so?" she said carefully. "Yeah," he replied, watching her closely. "She passed away 9 years ago." Rachel gave a small, sympathetic nod. "I'm sorry to hear that. Loss like that never really fades, does it?" No, Logan said. It doesn't. For a second, there was silence. Aiden looked from Rachel to his dad, sensing the tension but not understanding it. I'll get your food, Rachel said quickly and disappeared into the kitchen. Logan stared at the space where she'd stood. There was something wrong here, something off. The way she tensed when he brought up the pendant, the way she seemed to recognize his words before he even finished them. Was it possible she knew Amanda, or was he being paranoid? Dad, Aiden whispered, tugging at his sleeve. Yeah, buddy. You don't think she could be family or something? Like Mom's sister? Logan considered it. Amanda was adopted. She didn't know much about her biological relatives. It wasn't impossible. I don't know, Logan said, but I'm going to find out. The food arrived a few minutes later, but Rachel wasn't the one who brought it. A younger busboy set it down quickly and disappeared before Logan could ask any more questions. After breakfast, Logan approached the counter to pay. Rachel was nowhere in sight. He leaned over and asked the cashier, Hey, that waitress, Rachel, is she around? The older woman behind the register looked up. She's on break. Everything okay? Yeah, Logan said with a forced smile. Just curious. She looks a lot like someone I used to know. The woman nodded. She gets that a lot. Logan stepped outside with Aiden, his heart pounding. This wasn't just a look-alike. That pendant, the nervous answers, the vanishing act, it meant something. And he wasn't leaving this town until he knew what. After leaving the diner, Logan and Aiden drove slowly along the winding mountain road, the towering pines casting long shadows in the late morning sun. But Logan's mind wasn't on the beauty around him. It was stuck on Rachel and that pendant. Back at the cabin they'd rented for the weekend, Logan pulled out his laptop. If there was anything he could use to uncover the truth, it was the internet, and a few private contacts from his old life. Aiden flopped on the couch, clutching the photo of his mom, Amanda, the one with the pendant shining brightly around her neck. Dad, he said softly, do you think Rachel really knew Mom? Or maybe she's someone who wanted to remember her? Logan sighed. I don't know, buddy, but that pendant wasn't something you just find at a store. Amanda made sure it was unique. If Rachel has the same one, there's a connection. As Logan typed into his search bar, he pulled up old news articles, social media pages, even genealogy forums. Amanda's past was murky. Adopted as a baby, she'd never spoken much about her birth family, but Logan remembered a vague story Amanda once told him. A story about her birth mother leaving a silver locket with her in a box when she was little. She never had the chance to find out who gave it to her. Then a name popped up on a genealogy site, Rachel Matthews, a woman living in Boone, North Carolina, the same small region they were visiting. Logan's heart quickened. Could Rachel Matthews be the waitress? And if so, was she connected to Amanda's family? He cross-referenced the photo of Rachel Matthews on a local community group. The resemblance was striking. The same honey blonde hair, hazel eyes, and that same subtle smile. Could it be the same woman? Logan's phone buzzed. It was a text from an old friend who still worked at a private records office. Can dig up adoption records for you? Let me know. His hands trembled as he typed back, Please. This might be bigger than I thought. Meanwhile, Aiden sat quietly, eyes glued to the photo. Dad, why didn't Mom ever talk about her family? Logan rubbed his temple. Sometimes people protect us by keeping secrets, son. But maybe it's time we find out the truth. As evening fell, Logan prepared to head back to the diner. He needed to meet Rachel again. He needed answers. But deep down, a knot of fear tightened in his stomach. What if the past they uncovered wasn't what he wanted to find? What if it was something darker? He shook off the thought. Tomorrow he would ask Rachel directly. For now, the pendant and the mystery it held was pulling them both deeper into a story they never expected to live. The next morning dawned crisp and clear, with golden sunlight spilling over the mountains and through the windows of the small diner. Logan woke early, his mind buzzing with questions and half-formed theories. The text from his friends still lingered on his screen. Adoption records ready? Meet tomorrow. But before chasing down the past further, Logan knew he had to talk to Rachel in person. He and Aiden arrived at Maggie's place just as Rachel was wiping down tables. Her hair was tied back in a loose ponytail, and the silver pendant gleamed softly in the morning light. Logan's heart hammered, but he steeled himself. "Rachel," he called gently as he approached the counter. She looked up, surprise flickering across her face. "Mr. Carter, back again?" Logan smiled, trying to keep his voice calm. "Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the pendant you wear." Rachel's eyes narrowed just slightly, but she didn't pull away. "It's been in my family for a long time," she said carefully. Logan took a deep breath. "My late wife, Amanda, had one just like it. It was very special to her. I can't explain why, but I feel like there's a connection here." Rachel paused, the smooth surface of her calm demeanor cracking for the briefest moment. Then softly she said, "Amanda, I knew her." Logan's pulse quickened. "You did?" Rachel nodded, glancing toward the kitchen door as if making sure no one was listening. "We grew up together. We were sisters, though not by blood." "Step-sisters?" Logan guessed. Rachel shook her head. "More complicated. Our moms were best friends. Amanda was adopted, but we were raised almost like family. The pendant? It was our mother's promise, something they gave each of us to hold on to." Logan felt the pieces falling into place. "Amanda never told me much about her past. I didn't even know about the pendant story." Rachel's voice softened. "She wanted to protect you both. There were things she couldn't share." Aiden, who had been quietly listening nearby, spoke up. "So you really knew Mom?" Rachel smiled gently at him. "Yes, honey, I did. And I've wanted to meet you." Logan swallowed hard. After all these years, this unexpected reunion was overwhelming. He felt a strange mix of relief and apprehension. The past wasn't a closed chapter. It was alive, with people still connected to it. "Can we talk somewhere more private?" Logan asked quietly. Rachel hesitated, then nodded. "There's a park nearby. We can sit there." As they stepped outside, Logan looked back at the diner, wondering how much more of this story was waiting to be uncovered. What had started as a simple road trip had become a journey into a family secret long buried, and he wasn't sure where it would lead next. The three of them walked quietly to a small park just a few blocks from the diner, where a few early risers were stretching or sipping coffee on wooden benches. The crisp mountain air carried a faint scent of pine and earth, but Logan's thoughts were far from peaceful. Rachel sat down on a bench, her hands folded tightly in her lap. Aiden settled next to her, looking up at her with wide, curious eyes. Logan stood a few steps away, gathering his thoughts. "Rachel," Logan began cautiously, "if you knew Amanda, why did none of this ever come up before? Why didn't she tell me about you or the pendant's meaning?" Rachel sighed, her gaze drifting to the trees. "Amanda was scared, not of you or Aiden, but of the people in her past. The family she came from wasn't perfect. There were things she wanted to forget, things that threatened to hurt the ones she loved." Logan frowned. "What kind of things?" Rachel hesitated, then glanced at Aiden before continuing. "Amanda's biological mother was caught in a difficult situation. Dangerous relationships, debts, and people who didn't want her to escape. The pendant was a symbol of hope and protection, something passed down to keep the promise alive." Aiden's eyes widened. "So, Mom's real mom was in trouble?" Rachel nodded softly. "Yes, Amanda wanted to shield you both from that life. That's why she never talked about it." Logan felt a rush of conflicting emotions, admiration for Amanda's strength, frustration over being left in the dark, and a growing determination to uncover the whole truth. "Do you think this danger is still out there?" Logan asked. Rachel's face grew serious. "I don't know for sure, but that's why I left town for a while, tried to keep a low profile. Coming back here to work at Maggie's was supposed to be a fresh start." Logan's mind raced. If Amanda's past was catching up with them, Aiden's safety could be at risk. "We need to be careful," Logan said firmly. "I'm going to look into this further." Rachel reached into her pocket and pulled out a small envelope. "I kept some letters Amanda gave me before she passed," she said. "Maybe they'll help you understand." Logan accepted the envelope with a grateful nod. Inside were faded photographs, handwritten notes, and a worn address book. "This is more than I expected," Logan admitted. Rachel smiled sadly. "Amanda was stronger than she let on. but she couldn't fight everything alone. Aiden tugged at Logan's sleeve. "Dad, can we keep the pendant safe? Like Mom wanted?" Logan looked down at his son and squeezed his shoulder. "We will, I promise." As the sun climbed higher, Logan realized their trip was no longer just a break from work. It was a mission to uncover a hidden past and protect the family they still had. But the deeper they dug, the clearer it became. Some secrets had a way of refusing to stay buried. That evening, back at the cabin, Logan sat alone at the kitchen table. The envelope from Rachel spread open before him. The yellowed letters were written in Amanda's neat handwriting, filled with memories and veiled warnings. One particular letter stood out, a message addressed to Rachel, but intended for Logan and Aiden, should they ever need it. "If you're reading this, it means my past has caught up with me. There are people who don't want us to be free. Protect Aiden. Protect each other. Trust only those who prove themselves." Logan's heart pounded as he reread the words. Amanda's fear wasn't just a feeling. There was real danger lurking even now. His phone buzzed. It was a message from his friend at the records office. "I've located Amanda's original adoption records. Sending them now." Within minutes, Logan had downloaded the files. They confirmed what Rachel had said. Amanda's biological mother was a woman named Evelyn Hayes from a troubled family with ties to unsavory figures in the region. Logan realized the threat was closer than he thought. He called Rachel. She answered on the first ring, her voice steady but low. "I read the letter and the records," Logan said. "This is serious. If there's danger, we need to prepare." Rachel sighed. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you everything before. I wanted to protect you, but now it's time." Over the next few hours, they pieced together the story of Evelyn Hayes, a woman caught in cycles of debt, abuse, and dangerous alliances. Amanda had escaped that life through adoption, but Evelyn's enemies might still be searching for any way back in. Aiden, sensing the growing tension, stayed close to his father. "We have to keep him safe," Logan said, running a hand through his hair. Rachel agreed. "There's someone I can reach out to, a private investigator I know. If anyone can find out if Evelyn's past is still a threat, it's him." Logan nodded. "Let's do it." Later that night, as Logan tucked Aiden into bed, the boy looked up at him with trusting eyes. "Dad, do you think Mom is watching us?" Logan smiled softly. "I know she is, buddy, and she's proud of how brave you are." As the mountain wind whispered outside, Logan realized their family was no longer just tied by blood and love. They were bound by a fight for survival. The next steps would be dangerous, but he vowed to protect Aiden, Rachel, and the memory of Amanda, no matter the cost. The following days were a whirlwind of calls, meetings, and quiet moments of reflection. The private investigator Rachel contacted, a sharp-eyed man named Marcus, quickly got to work digging through local records and connections tied to Evelyn Hayes. Within 48 hours, he had news. "There's been no recent activity linked to Evelyn's old enemies," Marcus reported over a secure call. "Looks like the threat's diminished, or maybe just dormant." Logan exhaled a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "So, we're safe. For now?" "For now," Marcus confirmed, "but stay vigilant. People with that kind of history rarely disappear completely." Rachel and Logan met one evening at Maggie's place, the diner where their paths first crossed. This time, the pendant hanging around Rachel's neck didn't feel like a symbol of danger, but of connection and hope. "I want you and Aiden to come back anytime you want," Rachel said quietly. "You're family now." Logan smiled, the weight of uncertainty lifting just enough to feel the warmth of something new. "Thank you. Amanda would have wanted this." Aiden tugged on Rachel's sleeve. "Can you tell me more stories about Mom? The ones you remember?" Rachel laughed softly. "I'd like that." That night, Logan stood on the porch of their cabin, looking out over the quiet mountain town bathed in starlight. The past was still part of their story, but it no longer controlled them. He thought of Amanda, the woman who had fought so hard to protect her family, even from shadows she couldn't escape. Now, with Rachel and Aiden by his side, Logan felt ready to face whatever came next. The pendant gleamed softly in the moonlight, a symbol not just of pain, but of love and new beginnings. And for the first time in years, Logan felt at peace. Logan's journey uncovered more than just family secrets. It revealed the strength of love, resilience, and the unexpected bonds that can heal old wounds. Through facing the shadows of the past, he and his son found a new family in Rachel, proving that sometimes the most important connections come from the heart, not just blood. If you enjoyed this story of mystery, family, and hope, don't forget to share it with friends who love heartfelt tales. And let me know, what family secret or surprising connection would you want to uncover? I'd love to hear your thoughts.